do Americans drink too much, right? Alcohol is driving a debate in Washington. A debate is opening in Washington, D.C. over federal dietary guidelines for alcohol consumption. Current guidelines suggest up to 2 drinks per day for men and 1 for women. But upcoming updates may recommend lower limits, Vinny.
Uh-oh.
The alcohol industry, backed by lobbyists and lawmakers like Representative Andy Barr, is challenging the proposed changes, arguing for decisions rooted in real science. The HHS panel, which includes researchers like Tim Naimi, Jürgen Rehm, Kevin Shield, supports stricter guidelines, citing evidence that any amount of alcohol can be harmful. The research aligns with the World Health Organization stance that no amount of alcohol is safe. It's widely accepted that alcohol is a carcinogen, especially at higher consumption levels, said Christian Abnett of National Cancer Institute. Vinny, is this inspiring you to start drinking again at all, or are you happy with the decision you made a year ago?
It's crazy that you say that. This morning before I walked in here, I was on a Connect and I was talking to this guy about just how, besides God, besides going to church and following that path, taking out alcohol is probably the best decision I've ever made in my life. I am now, after a year and May 31st, Kelly's birthday was my 1 year mark. I am now just starting to get emotions back, like just smiling throughout the day, Pat, getting goosebumps, remembering everything, waking up in the morning. And I think, throughout the day, every single one of us at home, you guys, we all try to avoid poison in the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the food that we're eating. You're voluntarily putting this thing, and say what you want. People are like, well, I'm just having 1 drink, or it's literally poison. And when you see somebody, Tom, stumbling and falling, and we all point and we laugh like, look at he's twisted, he's faded. No, he's poisoned, but he doesn't have enough to kill him. I mean, it's destroyed many people in my family's lives, and I'm so happy that I broke out of it. But I think anything to try to limit it, because think about it, the government, it's legal, and they want you to be drinking it. They want you to be smoking. They want you to be going down that path. I personally just think it's a good thing to lessen anybody drinking, especially if it's poisoning you.
Well, remember, in the 1950s, the U.S. government looked the other way and actually said it was okay when cigarette advertisements portrayed doctors saying, and full of vitamins. There were these advertisements. And so is it any shock that our lawmakers, which most of whom are pickled, and need dollars for campaigns and are getting dollars from spirits companies saying, listen, help me with my reelection and I'll go over and the federal dietary guidelines and I'll put 1 glass of red wine a day. No, not red wine. This I'm from Jim Beam. Okay, then one drink for you, 2 drink for your wife. Look, this thing is backed by lobbyists and lawmakers. So is it any surprise that they're trying to stretch and find some benefit of alcohol to put it on a federal dietary guideline? However, you have people that probably reviewed this in committee, like professional drinker Nancy Pelosi, who, probably could come back and say, this seems pretty reasonable. There's a lot less than where I'm at. And so I think what you've got is a couple sensible people saying, alcohol is a carcinogen. You're saying it's a poison, and higher consumption levels, is not only dangerous, but it affects lifestyle and people's work and relationships. And oh my gosh. And then you got to have, the U.S. government bailing you out because you lost your job and you're homeless now, but you can get a nice place in L.A.
Yeah, exactly.
Adam.
Well, number one, respect to Vinny. You're 1 year sober, 1 year and 1 month, I want to say.
1 year, a month.
Congratulations to you. I just hit 9 weeks.
That's freaking amazing.
Of not having a drink. And for me, it was more just, let's see if I can do the 75 hard thing and see how long I could go. But the reality is, yes, Americans drink too much. Yes, Americans take too many pills. Yes, Americans, especially Gen Z, are vaping way too much. Yes, the cigarettes are no longer a thing, but the vape is basically usurped cigarettes, and it's a problem. But alcohol, I would dare to say, is probably the most devastating. There's been a push to legalize marijuana. We see that, microdosing and mushrooms are becoming more of a thing. People need an escape. People need to chill. People want to relax. People want to let loose. I get it. But alcohol, talk about just making dumb decisions. Beer goggles. Oh my God, how the hell did that happen? Some of the worst things I've ever seen is just people getting drunk, fights, drunk driving. It's just a mess out there. And I think people are waking up to it. And, we were at the Menek dinner the other night. It was free-flowing wine, amazing dinner. I just had club soda. Thank you. I went to the fights this weekend, this bare-knuckle brawl fights, by the way, something to look into. There was, hey, whatever you want, open bar. Yeah, I'll just do a Diet Coke. I was at the bars in South Beach. You wanted to go check out the bar? No, not drinking whatsoever. It feels good. I would highly recommend giving it a shot. If you haven't gone a week without drinking, try it. If you haven't gone a month without drinking, try it. It's good.
Can I ask you a question? When your 75 hard is done, are you going to keep going, or are you going to celebrate with drinking?
No, to be honest with you, I have zero interest in drinking. I'm a social creature. I would never let's get drunk. That's not my thing. Like, I don't drink when I'm home alone. It's more like, hey, go to the bar. They're buying a drink, have a drink. But it's, mom earmuffs, a girl that I'm talking to, whatever. She kissed me and she had a drink of tequila. I was like, oh, it tastes disgusting.
Nasty.
So.
What do you think? Are you gonna just go because me? I'm never going back.
I don't see myself being like, I'll never have a drink. Maybe an old fashioned to celebrate something, but I don't see myself drinking as much as I've drank in the past.
That's good. Good for you.
It's just not worth it.
Listen, yes,
you don't drink.
No, but I'll have a drink,
right?
But I don't drink.
I've never seen Pat finish a drink.
Yeah,
it'll be like what do you guys drink? The old fashioned. And I even look at it. Guys, I drank like a maniac. I look at it and I go, man, it looks good. And then Pat will be talking. There's ice and it's over here. That's like that much left. You're not a drinker.
No, I'm not. But I was. I'm and not as a just a guy that partied a lot. And every weekend we try to finish all the tequila in the army. It was just very. We were committed to it. Hang on.
Yeah. God bless you.
Bless you.
There it is.
I'm back. Thank you.
Season of the truth.
You know what I told Cube yesterday? I said there's two decisions I made a long time ago that changed my life. You make a lot of decisions. A couple of them changed my life. One, in 2003, I stopped listening to radio and hip hop. I just stopped. Adam can tell you, he'll make fun of me. He says, Pat only knows rap up to 03.
03.
Me too.
I can do rap, I can do hip hop, I can do R&B, I can do, hip hop, rap, same thing, but I can do all that up until 03. After that, you start giving me names, couldn't tell you anything, right? So I replaced radio. Last time I ever listened to radio that I drove a car was 03, and I replaced it with audiobooks, period. My car's been audiobooks since then. So audiobook, listening to this book, to that book, to this book. And I listened to one book I listened to on replay in my car for 2 years straight was 33 Strategies of War. That was it, Robert Greene, over and over and over. People would be in my car, you still listen to the same thing? Yep. You still listen to the same thing? Yep. It was over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because I saw the gamification of what some guys that were like, oh, we believe in you. And then they became deceptive and dark. And I'm like, wait a minute. This competition game, these people are very weird. So you have to kind of know the different games that people play and when they compete. I read this. And then gradually I realized, man, I'm so glad. I don't miss it. I don't miss any of it. When I sit there and I think about the music I listen to, if I listen to Hit 'Em Up, I told Cube, I have a certain emotion that comes out of my body. If I listen to Mo Murda, right? It's one of my favorite hip hop songs. Favorite, right? I think it's track 16. It's one of the later tracks. I just I love it when I listen to that song. It's just something about you like you want to work out, right? When I listen to my music, okay, and then alcohol, you replace that. My music of choice today is 80s. I like 80s. I like Italian. I like Toto Cutugno. I like Adriano Celentano. I like Eros Ramazzotti. I like Raul de Blasio. I like these guys.
Andy,
August, 17 Dar Palace.
And Dariush, come on.
Dariush. Yeah, Dariush would send a very nice gift. And then alcohol. When the moment I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to drink it. And I was gone. I didn't touch it for 7 years. I'm like, I don't have a need for it. I don't urinate. Nothing, right? And you move on. Certain decisions in life you make will positively impact your life. Drop in music that has certain language in it because I think words have power, will do good for you. And also drop in alcohol, drugs that manipulate the decision-making process. I think it's also a good decision for you to make as well.
But by the way, you've sort of started a movement, PBD.
Here we go.
Because, there's a new movement happening across the country right now. It's called the Sober Curious Movement. There's a lot of curious movements going on right now, but the Sober Curious Movement how Americans are redefining socializing and drinking culture. Now, 40% of Americans want to drink less this year and are basically part of this sober, curious movement, rethinking their relationship with alcohol. That's a Fox News story.
Legal poison. And Tony, one of my friends, Tony Baker, would be like, when you tell people in public, you're like, no, I don't drink. They're like, what? When people are like, what do you mean you don't drink poison? You don't want poison? Mm-hmm. Like it's a hilarious bit. It's like they want you to be drinking this poison, and it's the best decision I made.
Anyways, gang, this is why I love America. I'm America first. My team, my jersey is America. That's what I wear. Yesterday when I went to the game, Florida Panthers against the Edmonton Oilers, you know what hat I was wearing? I was wearing a Valuetainment hat. You know how many Valuetainers I saw yesterday? I couldn't even tell you. Left and right, we were having conversations with everybody because I'm convinced future looks bright. And 4th of July is around the corner. We told you guys we had a complete new merch drop, but I'm going to show, if you're looking at the, Rob, can you actually go to the store so I can tell them what's sold out and what's few items are still left or not? If you just go to vtmerch.com and go to the 4th of July right there, if you can click on that. Okay, so let's go through it. The USA hat is officially sold out. There's no more. That went in no time. The one to the left of Valuetainment, there's 37 of those to the left of that right there. There's 14 of the trucker one, whatever you want to call that, right there. There's a few shirts left. There's a few sweaters left as well. And then if you go onto homepage, there's a blowout sale of 50% that we're running for 4th of July. But here's what you got to keep in mind. If you stay at the top, Rob, the slides will switch. Here's what we're doing. This blowout sale of 50%, it's get it now before things are going to be fully sold out on 4th of July because it's still there. So my suggestion, go to vtmerch.com. Place your order, have the gear ready for 4th of July, then tag us. Hashtag VTMerch. I want to start showing our folks around the world, Valuetainers, wearing VT gear with VT hats. Future looks bright. And I want everybody to start finding each other. This contest we ran with the Manek people that were in town Friday. And we had dinner at Casa D'Angelo, and we had cigars till midnight. It was so awesome talking to other Valuetainers who also love America. So, blowout sale, VT merch. Here's the QR code. Go to it. 50% off. This is a 4th of July sale. Again, all this stuff is going to sell out one by one by one. I'm just telling you in advance because you're going to see this on 4th of July. That's the QR code. Or go to vtmerch.com. Get the gear. Sport the gear. Celebrate 4th of July. Celebrate the greatest country in the world. And have the pride when you go around to other people because that's what Valuetainers do. We're going to put the link below as well. But there's also the QR code.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.